Let's not forget, Eneche did not speak until he was being dragged on social media. And that speech he made, like I said, it was not a speech about Osinachi. It was the speech to clear his name. It was a speech about his ego. It was a speech about Paul Eneche. At the same time, you know, when he's speaking about people are attacking the church, I can't remember how he phrased it, something like that. And I realized that this man does not know what the church is. The church is the people. Osinachi was the church. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. So in today's video, I'm going to be addressing the speech that Paul Eneche made about Osinachi Nwachukwu. I'm actually, whatever videos I want to make about Osinachi, I'm planning to just do them and put them out there because, you know, we know typically, like I was saying in one of my videos, the truth is, just give this thing a small time now and everybody will move on. It will be forgotten story. So whatever messages I want to pass across, I think I'd rather just put them out now that the matter is still kind of like hot, you know, before it goes cold. So I just wanted to talk about his so-called speech and things that are kind of like questionable or that doesn't add up or whatever that I feel like we should look at about his speech about her. The first thing I'm going to say, like I always say, this is my opinion from what I have observed. You're free to leave your opinions in the comment section. You're free. It's as simple as that. My opinion from what I have seen. Now, I personally see him coming out to speak as just him coming out to clear his name or to put the church, his Dunamis church, in a good light. That speech was not about Osinachi. No, it was about him and his thing. Do you know what I mean? It was about coming to tell everybody, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. It was not about Osinachi. So at the end of the day, we can still say he has really spoken about Osinachi. Don't forget that the first public outcry is that a woman that was a member of his church, a lead singer in his church, you know, popular singer, would lose her life, not just even losing her life, but the circumstances, the stories around how she exited this world. Because I know some people watching my videos are Americans, non-Nigerian, non-Africans, people from other parts of Africa. They are talking about it. And then people were not surprised to now see that the church where she was a lead singer, it was like nothing happened. Somebody was asking me, I said, some people that even have the time to sit down and watch their live stream, said they sat through it and she wasn't even talked about at all. What does it take to, during an announcement or whatever, and say, you know, announcement, our sister Osinachi passed on, you know, condolences to her family. It takes 1 or 2 minutes to say something like that. And I asked that question, are you guys telling me, those of his people, you know, that follow him anyhow, you know, are they going to tell me that if it was Paul Eneche's wife, service would have gone on as if nothing happened? Or if it was Paul Eneche, they would come on a Sunday and just continue as if nothing happened? Some people that even attend the church, somebody left a comment and said that he's a member of the church, that he too was disappointed that it wasn't even talked about at all. It seems that the important people are Eneche and his family. Every other person is whatever. Another thing is this, on that Sunday, somebody else sang. So Osinachi or no Osinachi, the show goes on. And then coming back to him saying that he knew by the second day he was in Cameroon. Okay, another contradiction. On the Punch News, Premium Times, I can't remember which of, they said that Dunamis lawyer from that church, spoke and said that Paul Eneche had not been briefed. That was what was in the news. One question we should ask ourselves is this: why do they need a lawyer to speak for the church? Did they need to defend themselves? Did they think they were culpable? Did they think they could get in trouble? Did they think they were implicated? These are questions I'm asking. Because considering that this man said he did not know that this woman was going through anything. Because it will make you wonder, could it be he knew? And then he's like, oh my goodness, I could be culpable, I could be answerable because I'm the one that told her to stay. These are all questions that are going through my mind. Like I said, my opinion from where I'm looking, and this one is a question. Why does the church need a lawyer to speak to the press? Normally the church have their spokesperson. What do they call them? Public relations officer, something like that. Now, he said he knew by the second day, but that lawyer that spoke to them, that spoke to the press, said that he had not been briefed. So what is the truth now? He was not briefed? Because if you say he was not briefed, does that not mean that he doesn't know what's going on? And then he has made a video himself saying that he knew while she was even unwell. He said he knew by his second day in Cameroon. So he doesn't even need to be briefed because he knew that she was unwell. According to him, he was the one that sent her to this hospital. Why is there this contradiction? The church lawyer said he had not been briefed. And looking at his speech, it doesn't seem like he needed to be briefed. It seemed like he was actually in a position to brief others because he was aware of her being unwell even before she exited. And he said he heard about it 2 days into his crusade. He didn't talk about it in Cameroon where he was. But a lot of Cameroonians knew about this story. At the same time, Pastor Funke, you guys know I've made videos. There are a lot of things she said I don't agree with, and I've addressed them. I posted her video where she spoke about the exit of Osinachi. She spoke beautifully well, and I shared this video here. Some people were trying to drag her in the comment section. I said, guys, no matter what you think of her, about Funke, whatever, I said, in this situation, she spoke up. So at least give her that credit that she spoke up about it. Pastor Funke said she doesn't even know Osinachi. She has never met her. She definitely not a member of her church. And yet, I was even surprised that people said that in that video that Pastor Funke was actually not in the country. She was in another African country. And she made a video that day and addressed the matter. But the church where Osinachi attends, where she is a lead singer, her pastor was in Cameroon and he didn't speak about it. But Funke, that is not even, if her church member has never met her, I've only heard her songs, spoke about what was going on. Don't forget, let's not forget, Enenche did not speak until he was being dragged on social media. And that speech he made, like I said, it was not a speech about Osinachi. It was the speech to clear his name. It was a speech about his ego. It was a speech about Paul Eneche. Another thing they always do is that people attack the church. People attack the church. Paul Eneche is not the church. People speak and say, why is he even quiet about it? Why did they not announce it? Let me tell you, this is psychology. When they say they are attacking the church, it makes church members see it as is a we problem rather than it is a him, Paul Eneche, that has been spoken about, because he doesn't want to stand alone and face the criticism. Let me put it like that, and face this criticism and take it. No, this is psychology, and this is how I see it. The way to make them feel like it is us against them is by saying it is an attack on the church. Paul Eneche is not the church. This man heard about it. He said the second day on his while he was in Cameroon. Okay, Osinachi exited this world on the Friday. The story went viral on Saturday. Paul Eneche went to church on Sunday and was dancing and talking about the miracles he did in Cameroon or whatever he discussed in church. They were dancing and acting as if nothing happened on the Sunday. Not a mention of Osinachi. Complete no mentioning of Osinachi. And then on Wednesday, 5 days later, Paul Eneche now came out to come and defend his name because he was being dragged on social media. It took him 5 days to say a word about Osinachi. His speech is all about clearing his name. Paul Eneche's name is more important than the life and death of Osinachi, a woman that was the lead singer in his church, a mother to 4 children. Everything else didn't matter. What is more important is for Paul Eneche to come and clear his name. Hopefully they will have enough conscience to provide for her children, because their father has been picked up, their mother is gone, so those children financially need to be provided for until they become adults. They need to be provided for until they become grown adults and independent. Another area I want to address, you know, he's saying he didn't know there was violence, I made a video which I translated the interview that her family, Osinachi's mother, twin sister and elder sister did. I translated it to English. I actually realized later that, you know, when the mother said that Osinachi wanted her mother was unwell, and Osinachi wanted to take her mother so she can look after her in Abuja. But her husband said no. And then she said that Osinachi told their mommy, if I'm not mistaken, he said their mommy, Neche. But I thought she said mommy. See, in my language, okay, I actually am Igbo, but I didn't grow up in Igbo land. So the Igbo, I grew up in Benin, but I can speak my language very well. You know, there are some words that we may say differently that are, but when I heard mommy, I thought she said nurture. In my side of Igbo land, when we go to my mother's side, we greet everybody nurture. You know, and I thought in my head that was what I heard. I actually thought she meant to say the man's mother or something like that, but I clarified it in the top comment. I later realized when people were saying, and I realized that it was actually, she said their mom Eneche, as in apparently it is Paul Eneche's wife. I became unwell, and when I became unwell, Osinachi went to Mommy Eneche and begged her and said she should please help her, that all she wants to do is bring her mother. She wants to look after her mother because her husband said she cannot come to her house. Mommy Eneche then went and begged Peter, and Peter agreed. So if you go by that, so it means that Osinachi could not convince her husband to allow her mother, who was unwell, to come and stay with them so that she can look after her mother. So Osinachi went to Paul Eneche's wife to speak to her husband to let her mother come. They said they didn't know there was a problem, or they didn't know there was violence. But tell me how a woman has to go tell another man's wife to come and talk to her husband to listen to her. Now that I realize that when she said mommy, when Osinachi's mother said mommy, she was referring to Paul Eneche's wife. Then later on in that video, you will hear where they now mention daddy. If you go by that, when she said mommy, she was referring to Paul Eneche's wife. I'm beginning to ask myself, does it then mean that when she said daddy, she was referring to Eneche? I really want you guys to listen to that interview. That she's suffering. That what Peter is doing to her is too much. I looked up and looked down. She called our daddy. That Peter said if she doesn't go dead, she's gonna go. She doesn't go alive, she's gonna go dead. So she's gonna be gone dead or alive. So there's that part where the woman now said they then called Daddy Ani, which means our daddy. I'm not thinking to myself, does it mean Paul Eneche? Because they said now called our daddy and said that Peter said if she doesn't go dead, she's gonna be going dead or alive. Could that be Paul Eneche they were talking about? I don't know, I'm just saying. And then, another area you have to think about. When the woman now said she sent her eldest daughter to go bring her home, and they brought her home. When her sister was speaking, she said that he came to beg. After this, they took her home for like a year plus. Peter came, the husband, came to beg with one pastor that used to be with Paul Eneche. If you think, you ask yourself, who is that pastor that used to be with Paul Eneche? And at the same time, if you think about it, right, as a lead singer in the church, when she was gone for over a year, a lead singer in a church was gone for over a year, and nobody in that church was asking, where is our lead singer? For a year, we don't see her. She was in the choir. Choir master no that this woman is gone. Church did not know. Paul Eneche did not know. Nobody knew that she was gone. Is that what they're trying to tell me? Definitely they would have known she's the lead singer. Then if she's the lead singer and she's gone, these are the things that I'm seeing from this side. Nobody now wondered, okay, why is she gone? She's supposed to be married to her husband. Why is she gone? Would that not have been when the church would have found out that, okay, there's a marriage problem going on here? Because the sister said that when the two people that came with the husband, that they blamed him, they heaped a lot of blames on him. They told him, basically, they told him he was not doing, he didn't do well. After he came to plead, he came with two people. Pastor Tony that used to be with Pastor Eneche. He's no longer there. And another person. I know how much they blamed him. Then my father was still alive. Yet the church said they did not know. Guy she was working with in the studio said he knew about it. Another woman that invited her to come and sing in her church said she told her. A counselor said she told her. So many people said she told them. This woman it seems that she was willing to tell so many people, apart from Paul Eneche and his wife. One woman said she poured her heart out to me or something like that, or I can't remember. She told me everything. There was a place her twin sister was talking about. They came and the keyboardist said that the husband said does not want them to sit together. So they had to sit apart. Let me tell you guys, we can all use our brains or we choose not to use it. When people preach, you know, there is the Twitter that people dug up of Paul Eneche's wife and said, never make divorce an option at all. Eneche said, divorce is not allowed under any circumstance. And then said, but it is better to be alive and there is no marriage. Guys, tell me how, especially this Paul Eneche's one, he said it's not allowed under any circumstance. And then he said it's better to be alive and there is no marriage. But he already said That is not allowed under any, under any condition. And from the way they explained about the personality of Osinachi, a message like this from Paul Eneche and a message like that from his wife is enough to make her uncomfortable to tell them the truth. You see all this 1 million sitting capacity, all this whatever sitting capacity. This is not how church is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a gathering of believers. There should be that fellowshipping together where people kind of connect. But when people begin to turn church thing to like a conveyor, what's that word? Conveyor belt. It's like this. They just, that close relationship thing. Left to me, every street, believers in the street should gather together and build. That's how you can build societies. Not go and make somebody a mega pastor. And one person, become meganized by a church. There was something he said. He said this is a time for sober reflection. There was when he said it. But at the end of the day, his speech didn't sound like there was any kind of sober reflection going on. Hopefully, they would do a reflection and ask themselves, how did you miss being your brother's keeper? When things like this happen, how do we prevent another Osinachi? How do we prevent something like this from happening? Another thing is this. I think it's obvious. That's how I feel anyways. I'm always going to say it because you see, when I'm quoting Bible, I tell you. When I'm talking from this my own mouth, from my own brain, I will tell you. I feel like Osinachi, she values what she does. She loves what she does, the singing and everything. But believe it or not, if that woman had been divorced or she walked away from, if she was even separated, I do not know, I do not believe if she'll be allowed to sing at the pulpit. The minute somebody becomes divorced or whatever, they become tainted. They become not pure enough. They become not good enough. No matter the talent God has given you, no matter the calling God has given you, all of a sudden, every other thing that you wear or that you are is no longer important. The only thing that is important is, are you in your marriage or you're not in your marriage? And we wonder why somebody like Osinachi would stay there. You wonder? Another area I want to address is this area that I've addressed it before. We, especially in our Nigerian churches, they preach so much, they speak so much about the submission of a woman. If the same energy can be put into talking about men love your wife, as much as they discuss it, if they can discuss them equally, I believe there'll be less problems. There's this thing that if a woman submits, there's no way her husband would not love her. If they are quick enough to remind men that the Bible says, just like Christ is the head of the church, Christ came and died for the church. He loved the church so much that he came and laid his life down for his wife. I made a video once and one guy said, because I love my wife, I should come and lay my life. If not that one, make she keep her submission. Because some men are not willing. So men are not willing to follow the Bible exactly how the Bible said it. Do you know that the Bible says that the man will not treat a wife well, his prayer will not be answered? If only people can emphasize on that, so that women will not be the only one that it looks as if I have to suffer to make heaven. I have to endure and endure and endure. I am the one that it is in my head. Who was that said it? Woman, to keep your marriages in your hands. I can't remember who said it. A lot of these things, they put all the weight on women, barely any weight on a man. Watching that video, I was thinking to myself, at least, call anybody mad dog in this one, or wish people heart attack. I was like, okay, at least he has learned from the previous ones he has done. Unfortunately, he did not fail. He still showed that lack of humility. I'll tell people, I say, if somebody is claiming that God called them, you have to look at them and look at the life of Christ and say, do they match? This man, do you know at the end of the day, he ended the video by saying that people that are frustrated are attacking the church. I can't remember how he phrased it, something like that. Because you are frustrated with your life. Frustrated with life. And then he said, if you're frustrated, come to church. And I thought to myself, this man, oh my goodness. Another mistake that is so funny sometimes that some of these people that live on tithe and offering make is having this mentality or making that assumption that people that do not live on tithe and offering like them are frustrated. Nobody needs to live on people's tithe and offering to have a great life. But they don't seem to realize it. Maybe because that's all they've ever done with their lives, that they now think that those of us, other people that are not living on tithe and offering must be frustrated. It's so unfortunate that they don't seem to get it. There is a life for those that actually are not living on tithes and offering. I don't know why they don't seem to get it. And you know what is it's not surprising to me, but it's sad to realize that at a time like this, when a story like this hits so many people, listen to Pastor Funke, how she spoke. People were feeling the pain of this woman's story, and people were speaking up from left, right, and center. There's an opera and all of that. I have listened to some of her songs, and I couldn't hold back the tears, knowing her story now. So it's enough to bring everybody's emotions up there. And someone like Paul Eneche, who claims that God called him, I do not believe, because the Bible tells us that by their fruits we shall know them, and we know this man's fruits, right? But it's interesting to see that all these emotions that the whole country have, the whole continent people have, and people are expressing themselves, he calls it frustrated people. Does it not show you how far off this man is from reality? Does it not show you how he doesn't get it? It doesn't seem that he feels the life of the everyday man anymore. This man is not in this planet. This position where they are, where people idolize them, this is what it does to them. People are bound to feel the exit, such a painful exit of a mother of 4 young children. And he called them frustrated people. And you think that speech was about Osinachi? No, it was about him and his ego. I don't blame him. I blame all those people that have been mummified. They can't sit down and process some things and realize that, no, this man cannot be working for the same God that Jesus came to tell us about. At the end of the day, I know I will never reach some people, but there are people that every day God is opening their eyes. If you look at that speech and you look at the whole story of Osinachi, it's left for a lot of his church members to realize how much value that is placed in their lives in a place like that, how important they are in a place like that. And at the same time, you know, when he's speaking about people are attacking the church, I can't remember how he phrased it, something like that, and I realized that this man does not know what the church is. The church is the people. Osinachi was the church. He came to speak to, you know, protect his name and protect his Dunamis, you know, 100,000 seating capacity. That's what his speech was about. But at the end of the day, this man seemed to be missing it so much. The church is not a building. The church is the people. When he's placing more value on a building, his dome, his shrine that he calls a church, he forgets that the real value should be placed in the lives of the people. The people are the church, not the dome, not the building. But unfortunately, when they have turned church into a business, they have completely mixed it all up and turned everything upside down. It's no longer about the people. It's about the business. It's about the quantity of people trooping in and out, not the quality of the life of the people. There's actually nothing more that I have to add in this video. As always, whatever your opinions are, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.